Good evening, fans. Welcome back to the LB Gym here in Fredericton. Final game of day 2 of the Ken Gould. It is the host St. Thomas Tommy men hosting the UNBSJ Seawolves. Both of these teams come in 1-0 on this tournament. Seawolves, they beat Mount Allison 97-90, leading the Seawolves. AJ Nash, 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Big stat line there for Nash. Seawolves out-rebounded the Mounties 37-28, made 14 three-pointers, shot almost 50% from the field. The Tommies, they won 94-92 according to the stats. It was a different score on the board, I think 95-92. Stats have it as 94-92. Leading the Tommies, Marcus Wilson with 25, Evan Villain had 12 points, 11 boards, and Jevin Eddy 14 points and 10 boards. Tommies made 10 three-pointers in that contest. And they out-rebounded Mount St. Vincent by 2. Tommies led by 15 or 16 late in that, but the Mystics had a really big fourth quarter, 36-13 to close the gap. Not enough, but they were hard charging. Made the wedding shirt collars a little tight for the Tommies coaching staff late in that one. Starters first for the Seawolves are already on the court. For the captain and leader, Ethan Zamurda. 6 is Darren Clark, 9, AJ Nash. He's the straw that stirs the drink for the Seawolves. Everything goes through Nash. 13 is Volk. 6'4" at Chipman, and 14 is Lance Howlett. So Volk draws into the starting lineup. For this one, starters for the Tommies, 3 Vincent Littleton, 5th year out of Markham, Ontario. 5 Marcus Wilson, first year here, but 2nd year of eligibility for Wilson. Number 9, Evan Villain. He'll jump against Volk in the tap. 10, CJ Hansen, who can jump out of the gym. And Jevin Eddy wears 21. Be interesting to see. I would expect Volk will take Eddy in this one, and likely why Volk draws into the starting lineup here is for that matchup exactly. A couple of big, broad boys there in Eddy and Volk. There's Wilson, 25 last night outside Littleton. Villain. Zip pass in for Eddy. It's going to be off of Nash, 16 on the shot clock. Tommy's ball. Didn't make my way down to talk to either coach prior to this game, but I did have a chat with former Tommy's coach Dwight Dickinson, share some of his thoughts, a little bit of his philosophy here when we get a minute, maybe between quarters or a timeout. That's Clark. Clark to the bucket for 2 points. SJ. To start this one, Wilson. Guarded by Nash. Wilson gets one off glass for 2. Nash answers at the other end. Nash and Wilson. Wilson again. And got a whistle here. That's going to be a foul on Nash. It is the law form of Patterson, Gallagher, and Murray in charge of this one, making sure all goes according to Hoyle and the rules of basketball. In other words, they are our 3 officials here. And it must be a big game if you get Michael Murray in. Of course, it's probably going to be too dark to golf, and the golf course is shutting down anyway. Good to see Michael out here. Volk with a long shot, rebound. Corralled by Villain.
Hansen was streaking. They didn't find him. 4-4 Wilson. Rises, shoots, scores. Zamurda for Vogt, back to Zamurda. Littleton with a knockaway, but Zamurda picks it up. Looks for the reverse off the glass. Vince has it taken away by Vogt for Clark. Wilson got a hand in. Eddie for Hansen. Hansen looking to attack. Kicks outside. Villain for three. (9-5) Tommies. Vogt block from behind. Villain knocks it off of Clark. Out of bounds. Maybe it was off of Zamurda. Wilson inbounds for Eddie. Eddie can't get it over the front of the rim. There's Villain for another three. That one short. Eddie and Vogt tied up inside. And Vogt called for. The hold, his first foul. That's just the strength of Jevin Eddie. CJ Hansen against Howlett, inside Eddie. Eddie spins, scores. Timeout, SJ. Tommies 11, Seawolves 4. Back to that conversation with former coach Dickinson. We're talking about the composition of the rosters here now and how there's so many players coming in from U Sports, a little bit older than the typical, first year out of high school type player in the league. And he said it's important to get players in with the right philosophy. Kind of asked him a little bit what that meant. He said, well, I had an 80-20 rule. He said, you keep 20% for yourself and give your other 80 to your teammates, 20% each. And he says, if everybody on the court does that, keeps 20 for themselves and spreads 20 to each of their other four teammates, everybody ends up with their 100%. Interesting philosophy, and I think a little fitting here in terms of you play for your teammates, they play for you. Everybody ends up right back where they should be with their full 100. But somebody starts to get selfish, doesn't start giving it up for the teammates, and things get out of balance in quite a hurry. Don't see any subs out of the timeout. Tommies with a little pressure. Zamurda back for Nash. Nash can't make it at the rim. Hansen flying by. Changed the timing of that shot. Wilson, corner kick for Hansen. Left it a little short. Clark on the rebound. We foul on Littleton. Inside, Vogt scores two. Warning there to the SJ bench. They're going to get Michael Murray off the golf course. He's not going to listen to a whole lot of chatter. Eddie, low post, kicks outside Villain, puts up a three. Oh, looked like contact from Zamurda just after the shot. And a little quiet conversation here, John Hickey with Dave Gallagher. Oh, I thought that one hit the support wire up top. Officials didn't see it or didn't agree that it did, one of the two. Clark misses the shot, rebound Eddie. Zamurda almost had the pick-off on the outlet pass. Here comes Lands, Gimby, and Duel for the Tommies. This is going to be Hanson, Verlaine, and Eddie to the bench. Nope, Verlaine stays. He was just walking by the bench. Littleton was the other Tommy to depart. Duel for Verlaine. Verlaine tries Zamurda. Good defense by Zamurda into the hands of A.J. Nash. Nash back out. Ewan Wilson has checked in for the Seawolves. 3-point specialist is number 3. Howlett for Zamurda. He can shoot it too. Land slips on the far side, allows Zamurda to get the board. Back out for Howlett. Howlett shot rims out. And as well as Doyle Burton checked in. 2 subs there for SJ that I missed until I saw them in the play. The cerebral Dove Kahn in for Lance Howlett. 11-6 Tommies. Wilson uses a Verlaine screen. Wilson to the rim. Burton with a tip for Wilson. 2 Wilsons in the game, 1 on each side. Whoa. Burton can't get that one to go. It's a nice delivery from Nash. With a no call on the Nash contact with Duel. Duel collects the rebound back outside. Marcus Wilson, kick for Jack Gimby. Gimby a miss, rebound A.J. Nash. Nash from 18. Evan Verlaine catches a rebound. Gimby, Wilson. Rebound Zamurda. Zamurda was looking for the clear out, then picked up the ball. There's Burton. Inside against Lands. Can't score, but gets the offensive board. And does draw a foul. Doyle Burton thinking he should have finished 1 or 2 of those. Littleton and Eddie coming back in for Stu. Darren Clark back in for the Tommies. Zamurda comes out. And it's Wilson and Verlaine to the bench for Coach John Hickey. Tough shooting start for Doyle Burton. This one probably long. Nope. Rimmed out, missed. A lot of the time when the first one is real short on a free throw, the next one's real long. Good adjustment though by Doyle. And a little tough luck that it didn't bounce through. Zach Duel, 3. Darren Clark on a catch. Inside, Littleton comes out of the pack with a loose ball. Littleton right at the rim, pulls up short, rebound for AJ Nash. Clark, rebound Littleton. Off for Duel, in for Eddie. Pass doesn't connect with River Lands. Ryan Pollard checks in for AJ Nash. Going to be a foul on Zach Duel. Wilson up with a bit of a limp. And he says, I'm all right, I don't want to come out. Let's play. Come on, let's get going. He's a gamer, Wilson. He's a little bit of pain there as he's running. He's going to hide in the corner a little bit, catch his breath. Doyle Burton for Wilson. No, it keeps it himself. Clark uses the off arm, makes space, score 2. Littleton against Pollard. Eddie screen coming. Gimby. Back for Littleton, tries a 3. Eddie with a foul. His first. Keach Tong checks in. Wearing number 11. CJ Hansen back in for Stu. Tong in for SJ. Tong comes in for Burton. Clark kicks for Kahn. Makes a 3. 14-11. Littleton off the mark. Clark gets it to roll through. 14-13, 1-point contest. Littleton lands. Kick ball on Clark. Checking in for the Tommies, number 14, Jeremy Correa. And in for SJ is number 8, Ewan Robertson. In for Ewan Wilson. River lands to the bucket, doesn't score. Off for Pollard. Pass for Robertson. Clark taken away by Littleton. Clock was temporary stop there, I thought. I think we had a trip up the court without the clock really starting. I thought it was 45.9. We went up the court, only 2 seconds come off. Lance makes them both 16-13 Tommies. Robertson for Pollard. Tip by Tong. Hansen for Eddie, back to Hansen for 2. The Seawolves can play for 1, shot clock could be off. Tong with the offensive foul. First on Tong. Littleton makes it at the buzzer. (21-15) Tommies. Vince Littleton with a three-pointer to beat the buzzer. Give me a second here to get the stats up on the phone. And I'll run through. Seawolves 15.7 of 21 shooting. 1 of 7 beyond the three-point arc, 0 of 2 from the free throw line. The Tommies 8 of 20 for 40%. 3 of 9 for 33%. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Each team 3 turnovers. The Tommies trail in the rebounding department 13-11. Assists 4-2 in favor of STU. The leaders, Darren Clark has 6 points. Dovcon 3. Nash, Tong, Vogt 2 each. For the Tommies, Littleton 5, Wilson 4, Duel 3, Villain 3, Lands, Hansen, and Eddie each with 2. No STU players with more than 1 foul. And no SJ players with more than 1 foul. Your rundown of the quarter. Take just a short break here to crack another water open. Be back in about 30 seconds with Q2. Seawolves ball here to start the second quarter. Robertson, Clark, Tong, Kahn, and Pollard for the Seawolves, the Tommies. Littleton, Lands, Eddie, Correa, and Hansen. Miss from Pollard. Ahead for Lands. Back for Correa. Eddie, Littleton. Hansen. One foot shot for Hansen. Kahn dribbles into trouble that time. Tommies get a tie-up. Possession STU. Here comes Nash and Zamurda. Villain quickly up to check in for Riverlands. I think you'll see Villain guard Zamurda. Danny Patterson again shows us the icky shuffle. Get a little bit of perspiration off the court. Eddie tries Tong and scores 2. Jevin Eddie enjoying life as a Tommy. Tong inside, runs into Villain. Lane with a little shoulder shrug today. What am I supposed to do? The guy runs right into me. Saying this was a shot, that he was in the gather there. Ooh. Wasn't even sure he had caught the ball. Tong knocks that one through. Whoa. Big collision between Correa and Robertson. Correa out, Marcus Wilson in. Robertson up, limping here. Both Ewans with hard contact. Lane's going to save that one. Pong's going to knock it out. Here comes Howlett. This will be for Robertson, who hobbles to the bench. Wilson to the 10 for 2. Tommies +8. Low for Nash. Hansen almost had it. Eyes as big as saucers on that one. He was ready to put on a show. There's Littleton with a pick. Off glass for Hansen. They can't finish. A little too high degree of difficulty on that shot. Jevanetti ever steady on the defensive glass. Wilson rises off the pick. Back rim, Darren Clark on the board. Clark looking to go to work on Littleton. There's the Murda. Takes a long way around, but gets 2 points. Sometimes you just got to find the open highway. Eddie tries to the glass again. That one doesn't go, and he's going to hustle back into the play as well. I like that from Eddie after taking a tumble to the court. Sprints back down into defensive position. Double on Nash, and Villain deflects the pass. Comes Gimby. It'll be for Eddie. Volk back in. Zamurda, second attempt, no good. Gimby can't get that rebound. Out of bounds off of Howlett. All the Tommies running away from the inbounder. Dangerously close to a 5 count. And now Wilson's got Zamurda beat. Could be numbers for the Tommies. Gimby. Pass back for Littleton for 3. That one rimmed out. Gimby almost had the rebound, but it goes out of bounds. Darren Clark scored. Timeout, Tommies. Reminder tomorrow, final day action here in the tournament. Your 11 o'clock game, women's action, it will be MSVU and UNBSJ. Men's action at 1, same two schools. And then women's action, STU and UKC at 3, men, STU and Mount A at 5. I'm sure I'll tell you that one more time before the end of today, but if you're fans of any of those schools, get yourself down here. If not, keep it stapled right here to the Tommies YouTube station. Be back again tomorrow. You don't have to listen. Use your mute button if you like. We'll have a lot of fun doing this, but feel free to turn me down anytime you want to. Wilson against Nash. Off for Villain. Oh, little change there, and Howlett fouled by Villain. Howlett with the finish as well. And likely a sub here for Evan Villain coming. Cam Evans up off the bench for the Tommies. That's Villain's second. 6 minutes to go here in the first. In a 1-point game, Howlett can tie it. Off the bench for the Tommies, number 23, Evan Cartwright in for Voke. Cartwright, 6'5", right here out of Fredericton. Didn't get a lot of minutes last year. He can stroke it from deep. The good three-point shooter is Cartwright. Here we are at 25, and Hansen loses the ball for Clark. Clark off glass, and it's the Seawolves in front. Wilson's pass picked off by Zamurda. Just like that, it's Evan Cartwright for 3. Gimby for Cam Evans, back for Gimby. A little fall away 3 there almost for Gimby as he was stepping back. Not sure that's the fall away 3-pointer that you're looking for from your 6'5" rookie. Don't think you mind him shooting the 3, but you want the feet set. Better looking release that time from Gimby, still off the mark. Looked like he was at least set that time. And no, not every shot's going to be a perfect one. So an SJ surge here in Q2. Once again, Danny Patterson showing off the dance moves down there. Marcus Wilson going to help him out as well. Here comes Zach Duell in for Vince Littleton. Nash right to the bucket for 2. Oh, push there from Cartwright on the rebound, it looked like. Got away with it. Nash scores another 2, and it's timeout Tommies. As suddenly, it's a 9-point Seawolves lead. A lot of the story in this one, field goal percentage. Seawolves 14 of 33 for 43%. STU only shooting 33%. 4 more makes for the Seawolves. Tommies 3 of 13 beyond the arc, 23%. 3 of 11 for the Seawolves. 2 of 2 from the line for STU, 3 of 5 for SJ. But those 4 more makes on 3 more shots account for the difference. Turnovers pretty even. Seawolves are controlling the board, 22-13 on STU. Duel fouled by Clark. Wilson from the elbow for 2. Gimby a deflection, Eddie picks it up. Wilson off glass for 2 points. There is Lands, who gets a deflected ball. Little Tommy momentum. Gimby on Clark. Duel was open underneath, gets the ball now baseline for 2. 6-0 run for STU, and it's a 3-point Seawolves lead. Wilson reach in on Nash. Here comes Quinn DeVries. It's going to be for Jack Gimby. DeVries is athletic, a jumper. If you're the Seawolves and DeVries gets the ball away from the bucket, you're going to make him be a shooter. You don't want him to be a driver. Nash with the drive, rebound, Duel. Off for Wilson. Eddie screen to free Wilson for a 3. Off the mark. Darren Clark with a board. DeVries the takeaway for Zach Duel. Back to a 1-point game. Good response to the Tommies to the Seawolves run. And an answer, a deep 3 from Zamurda. You tip your cap if he's going to make them from that far behind the arc. Whoa! DeVries and Cartwright to the court in a jump ball situation. Possession, Seawolves. DeVries another takeaway. Been disruptive defensively. And for Eddie in the post, he's mobbed. Cartwright and Zamurda, take your pick there. Like Australian rules football for a second. Foul goes on Zamurda, his second. 1:16 to go here in the quarter. Seawolves by 4. Marcus Wilson, offensive foul. Zamurda, 2 fouls draws a charge. Big call there. That one goes the other way. That's the third on Zamurda. Second on Wilson, and Wilson will likely sit for the final 110. Lands a takeaway. Oh, and Zach Duell's hesitation allows Howlett to get back into the play and take it right back for the Seawolves. Nash on Duell. Kicks outside, Zamurda. Hanson aboard. DeVries' pass picked off by Darren Clark. Telegraphed a little bit. Clark to the bucket for 2 points. 6-point Seawolves lead. See if the Tommies can close with a bucket here. A 3 would be even better. Make it a 1-possession game. But you're looking for points here this trip for sure. In for Eddie in the low post. He scores 2. Timeout Seawolves. No, just to the end of the half. I thought Coach Vaughn was at the table. They're going to call a timeout. (39-35) Stu. A little confusion here at the end of the half. Around something going on there. Come on back with a couple minutes left on the clock. I'll give you the stats from the first half. Get us all ready for the second half. In the meantime, get yourself a snack. Maybe order a pizza pie up or something. Check out some scores from some other things happening in the sporting world. And come on back in 15 minutes. Second half should be entertaining. Hi fans, welcome back to the LB Gym here in Fredericton. I'm Bill Gibson. This is final half of day 2 of basketball from the Ken Gould Invitational. Host Tommy stuck 4 to the defending ACA champion UNBSJ Seawolves. Means really nothing here in the preseason. Both these teams looking to go 2-0 in the tournament. Tommies 21-15 in the first, but it was a 10-point Seawolf bulge in the second, 24-14 for the 39-35 score. And for some reason, my phone is locked up on me and it won't let me scroll through anything else. Let me give it a shake here and see if I can get it to cooperate. Well, I thought I was ready to read you the stats. I'm not even sure I can get it to do anything right now. I don't know what's happening here. Let me retry. Looks like we got something happening now. Seawolves 39 points, 16 of 37, 43%, 4-12 beyond the arc, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. The Tommies 15 of 37, 40%, 3 of 14 beyond the arc, and 2 of 2 from the line. So an extra three-pointer and an extra free throw. And there's the difference in the score. Turnovers, 2 more for the Seawolves actually. Rebounds, the Seawolves +8. Points in the paint, Seawolves 24-18. Leading the Seawolves, Darren Clark has 13, AJ Nash 6, Zmerda 5, Tong 4, Con 3, Howlett 3, Cartwright 3, Volk 3. And the Tommies scoring, 10 from Marcus Wilson, 7 from Zach Duell, 6 from Jevin Eddy, 5 Vince Littleton, Villain 3, Lands, Hansen 2 each. And foul trouble, Wilson has 2, Villain has 2 for Stu. Seawolves, Zmerda has 2, and that's it. Stu ball to start, half 2. Littleton, Hansen, Eddy, Villain, and Wilson for the Tommies. Eddy sends that one to the Seawolves bench. Zmerda, Nash, Volk, Clark, and Howlett for the Seawolves. Eddy a takeaway. Jevin Eddy blocked by AJ Nash. Good defense by Nash. Seawolf fans making some noise here in Tommytown. And Clark with a triple. Big swing with that defensive stand from Nash. Wilson. Villain for a 3. Miramichi marksman strikes. Hansen a takeaway. Wilson to the bucket, draws a foul, will shoot 2. Wilson to the line, settles. Big exhale, and first one is clean. Clark tripped up. And even more concerning than the third foul for Villain is he comes up. Gimpy. Here comes Riverlands to check in. Two-point SJ lead as Clark inbounds. Ball is loose, and it's Zamurda on the floor after it. None of the green shirts were down there. Clark steps through, gets it to go off the front of the rim. Wilson, a miss. Up four, it's Clark. Fouled by Riverlands. Littleton will shoot two. First one rattles its way through, cuts the lead to 5. No Tommies on the line here as Littleton makes the second. Tommies gives the Seawolves half. AJ Nash slips. Hansen out for Littleton. Oh, Littleton. Ankle twist on that one. That's a bad one. Undercut by Clark, and that one hurts. You can see that from up here. My ankle just went, give me the willy seeing that. It's through for Littleton. You bet he's going to want to get up and shoot this one. Haven't had a few ankle sprains. Rolls over like that, it is painful. Littleton must be a lot more flexible than I ever was. He's going to shake that off. Go to the line. Chance to tie on a 4-point play. And there it is. And he looks like he's running just fine. Nash Zamurda, front rim. Rebound tipped into the hands of Wilson, looking for Hansen. Hansen back for Littleton, going to try another triple. That one short, and it bounces into the volleyball equipment on the far side. It did get nothing but net over there. Doesn't count, though. Volk for the cutting Nash. Nice delivery from Volk. Speaking of nice deliveries, it's Eddie to Lands. The big man can pass it here. Vogt for Zmerda. Baseline drive and a score. I'll tell you, it's louder in here when the Seawolves score than it is when the Tommies get a bucket. Hansen. Tommies fans looking to respond a little bit there. Tommies up one on the Hansen three. That's Duell, who had checked in for Littleton. Vogt gets the offensive foul on the aggressive screen, I guess we'll say. Lose the handle for Clark. Clark scores it against Eddy. And Vogt's going to get his third foul here. Comes Wilson in for Clark. And Burton in for Vogt. And that's going to be bonus situation here with 4:59 to go. Eddy off the heel of the rim. And it's going to be a violation on Doyle running in there after the shooter's got the ball. Eddy wondering what's going on. Yeah, you only get two on the bonus. Nobody was there for a rebound. And you made the second. That's the way that worked. He thought it was going to be a violation as well, but you don't get another one when you've already made it. Eddy with the soccer feet that time. Little kick save. Should be underway just down the hill now at the LBR. The turn of senior hockey to Fredericton tonight in the form of the Fredericton Express in the Beausejour League. Look forward to driving by there to see how busy it is. I'm told they were lined up before 5:30 to get in the door for the return of senior hockey. Wilson with a score ties us at 54. Burton advantage on a switch here. See if they get him the ball. They do. He's quite away from the rim now, though. He's going to back in Duell, and Duell's going to knock it away down low. That's the danger of using the mismatch in size when you're 18 feet from the rim. It's one thing to back in. You got to back in that far. Gives that defender a chance to time your dribble. Ewan Wilson a little too strong, and there is Burton on the rebound. Reach in by Duell. That's going to be a non-shooting foul. Burton trying to sell it by going to the line, but fairly clearly before the gather that time. 14 shot clock. 3:49 to go, Q3. Dandy contest so far. Inside Zmerda. Oh, he doesn't miss too many of those. And out of bounds off of the Tommies. There's a towel, and AJ Nash does floors. Nash, a little hesitation, nice score. Gimby and Eddy both in the game there. That's a lot of length. Seawolves up 2. Gimby, one dribble, picks it up, finds Wilson. Wilson rises, shoots, scores. Good defense from Stu and Duel on Nash. Gimby with the takeaway, collects the ball, finds Duel, now Wilson. Wilson for 3. Nothing but nylon, and a little salute to the fans from Marcus Wilson. He's pumped. Off Doyle's forehead, right back to Kahn. Zamurda rises, rebound Wilson. He's doing a little bit of everything here as he's put the Tommies in front by 3. And he's going to try Ewan Wilson. Foul on Zamurda as well, and Zamurda says, oh no, that can't be me. 4 on Zamurda. Pollard, Burton, Clark, Ewan Wilson, and Dove Kahn for the Seawolves. Evan Villain, Jack Gimby, Marcus Wilson, Littleton back in, and Zach Duel for the Tommies. As it's the Tommies plus 5. Little seesaw game here. 2:05 to go, Q3. Kahn from deep. Makes it over Littleton. Villain can't get the score to drop, but good to see him back in the game, shake off whatever that ailment was on that last play in the defensive end that he was in before he went out. What I'm trying to say is he went out earlier in the game with a little tweak of something. Wilson, tipped by Villain. Coach Vaughn calling timeout. Coach Hickey out to talk to the officials about something there. 63-59 Stu. It's a 28-8 quarter for the Tommies. They're only scoring 14 in the second. Stu returned to a 20-plus point quarter. Making some hay from the free throw line. 10 of 11. Only 7 trips to the line for the Seawolves, making 5. Still an advantage in rebounding for St. John. Clark leads the Seawolves with 22. Nash 10, Zamurda 9. Tommies, it's Wilson with 21, Littleton 11. Villain with 8. And Littleton back out there, and that twister turn to the ankle that I thought looked pretty painful had me squirming up here. Didn't seem to bother him at all. Maybe not as bad as it looked from this distance. He's back out. Jump ball with Dove Kahn. Possession SJ. 1:01 to go in the third quarter. .14 on a shot clock. Pollard for the inbound. Clark rises from 15. Can't get it to go. Burton had a tip on that rebound, keep it alive, and it's Clark for 3. Rebounding foul. And this is going to be a shooting foul. On Doyle Burton. Going to send Zach Duell to the line to shoot. Too strong that time from Duell. 48-8 to go in the quarter. Villain, the only green shirt in there, he tipped it out, but it's right into the hands of Darren Clark. Clark to the rim too easy that time. Someone's going to stop that if you're Stu. He is quick, though. And Littleton ahead the other end. Scores 2. Good answer from the Tommies. Sure how that's not a double dribble. I didn't see that knocked away. Spin from Duell. That's a bit of an utter control play there to get something off out of the end of the quarter. Going to get a better look, I think. Tommy 65, Seawolves 61. Let's see if the phone cooperates this time. That is a 30-22 quarter for Stu. Seawolves 61 points, 25 of 54, 46%. 6 of 19 beyond the arc, 32%. 5 of 7 from the line. Tommies 24 of 52 from the field, 46%. It's nearly identical shooting percentages. 7 of 20 from beyond the arc for Stu. 1 more 3 made. And 10 of 13 for 77%. Turnovers are low, 14 for the Seawolves, 10 for the Tommies. That's not bad. For the coaches would like less. Plus 10 in rebounds for SJ. Bench points pretty even. Points in the paint favor SJ, 34-24. Tommies led by Marcus Wilson's 21, Vincent Littleton's 13. Villain has 8. And Seawolves led by Darren Clark, 24. AJ Nash, 10. Ethan Zamerda, 9. Foul issue, Zamerda has 4. Clark has 3. Volk has 3. And for the Tommies, Blaine 3. Duell, Wilson, 2 each. Going to be Stu Ball to start Q4. I'm going to clean up a little moisture on the court here. It is Lands, Littleton, Villain, Eddy, and Hansen for Stu. Con, Burton, Pollard, Ewan Wilson, and Darren Clark. Pretty good when you get the shot clock operator out, wiping up the floor as well. It's a good trick by the Seawolves right there in front of the Seawolves bench. So there's still seawater drops down there on the floor. I'm not sure where that all came from or what was the cause of that. I'm just teasing, not blaming the Seawolves. I don't know what happened. Happy to have the little bit longer break as much as anyone here right now. Villain for Littleton. Three-pointer to open scoring in the fourth. Puts the Tommies up 7. Littleton a steal from Kahn. Kahn tracks him down and blocks the shot. Evan Villain rises, can't get it to go. Hansen, couple taps, controls for Eddie. Eddie, one dribble and goes up, draws a foul on Burton. Eddie clean on the first. And the second. Clark makes a three from deep. 70-64, Stu. Keats Tong set to check in as well as Howlett. And AJ Nash. Burton, Pollard, and Wilson out. Hansen, aggressive foul on the defensive end, knocks Tong to the court. Hansen skies for the board. Long pass ahead for Eddie. Tough catch. He does corral it, though. Eddie going to back in on Clark. Kick outside Littleton, open for a three. And it's good. Hansen fouls a shooter, and it's going to be, I think, a 4-point play here. Oh, and a flop warning for the Seawolves. Interesting. Kahn makes it. 5-point contest. Littleton back for Lands. Low post for Eddie. Pass from Hansen. A little too sharp. Comes Zach Duel, sub. Didn't get the horn from the bench, and it's Hansen coming out in favor of Duel. 7:25 to play here. 5-point game. Wilson, Eddie, Littleton, Lands, and Duel. Nash with the Kents, and he'll be guarded by Zach Duel. Kick out for Nash for three. It's good. 2-point game again. Littleton tries a three. Out of bounds off the basket support. Seawolves tie with a 2 on this trip. Seawolves say that should count. Horn went off here, not sure what's going on. It's the whistle you should play through, not the horn. Mike Murray's going to come over now. Say the basket does not count. Evan Villain in for Jevin Eddy. 16 on the shot clock, 6:41 game clock. Offensive foul. It's going to go on Tong. So big swing there from a 2 that was through for SJ. An issue at the scorers table. Now it's an offensive foul. Gives the ball back to Stu. Duel tries a shot, rebound lands. Finds Villain. Villain gets inside, scores 2 points. Tong on the catch, but it's knocked away by the Tommies. Lane again inside. That looked like a walk. Technical foul on the Seawolves. On the coach. Coach Hickey saying they pulled the mesh.
on the shot. The official saying, hey, I didn't see it. They're going to talk about it. Littleton good on the technical. So the Tommies get one on the trip, and it's Seawolves ball. Tommies +5 after all of that. Tong for a 3. Short, that hit the wire up top, not going to count. Good call by Mike Murray. So the Seawolves, a couple they see go through, waved off for various reasons here. That one clearly correctly, if it's out of play off that black support strap. Wilson blocked by Howlett. You pretty quickly see Marcus Wilson could become the villain in the Tommy story for a lot of opposing teams, sort of filling in that Noah McCarthy role from last year. Nash back rim, rebound Villain. Zamurda set to check back in. He can be explosive from a points perspective. Littleton from 15. Tommies +7. Tong turnaround. That one no good. I have to think it's probably Tong that Zamurda's coming in for. Might be Dov Khan as well. I'll get a chance here to find out. And it is Khan. Comes River, lands out. CJ Hansen in. Timeout on the court. 3:53 to play. Timeout STU. So one more reminder on tomorrow. Just give me a second to get my sheet. Sunday's games, 11 a.m. The women, Mount St. Vincent and the UNBSJ Seawolves. 1 o'clock, same school's men's side. 3 o'clock, STU women and UKC. 5 o'clock, STU men and Mount A. So if you've been tuned in all weekend long, come on back for 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'll be here. Voice is holding out pretty well so far. Another 4 tomorrow. Should probably make it through okay. I'm pacing myself a little bit. But if you're in the area, or you can get to the area, and you're fans of any of those schools, or just a fan of basketball in general, come on down. See from this one, dandy basketball here. Should be some good games tomorrow as well. The winner of this one will set them up at 2-0 in the tournament. And give them a chance to go a perfect 3-0 with a win tomorrow. Inbounded. Wilson for 3. And Wilson with a little chat to some of the Seawolves fans on the way by. Tommies +10. Miss there from Clark. Tong can't get the tip, but it's Nash fouled by Zach Duell. The Seawolves ball on the side. Zamurda at the inbounds. For Clark, gets it right back. Nowhere to go, finds Tong, extra pass to the corner. Howlett, too strong. Hansen skies for a board.
and fouled on the rebound. AJ Nash saying I think he traveled first. Missed the number flashed up there. I believe it's going to be 11. Tong picks up his third. Volk off the bench, full reset. Tong's going to come out. I was thinking about Volk here a couple minutes ago. I was going to say, been using Volk mostly in the matchup against Eddie. But I think Volk can actually be effective against multiple lineups here. I think he gets enough credit as a scorer. Wilson, good shots now for the Tommies. Final 3:15 to play. There's one from Belaine. Hansen, here's a chance for him to put on a dunk show. Just straight through for Hansen. Timeout, Seawolves down 14, 2:44 to play. Big push. Tommies now up to 48% from the field. +7 on the free throw line. That's a big difference. Leading scorers, Marcus Wilson 24, falling up 25 yesterday. Littleton 22, Villain 12. Eddie has 8. Nobody with more than 3 fouls. And SJ, Darren Clark, a game leading 27. He's a big game. Nash 13, Con 10. Zamurda, a relatively quiet 9 on 4 of 14 shooting for Zamurda. Volk for Clark. Howlett for Volk. 6 to shoot. Zamurda, way deep 3. Hansen tracks it down. Hansen ahead for Duel. Duel brings it back out. Coach Hickey says, run it. We're up 14. We don't need that quick shot unless it's a sure thing. Villain from the elbow. No rebounders except Zamurda. All the Tommies back. Good strategy. No need to give up anything easy. Get back and defend. Make the Seawolves work and use clock. Three-pointer Ewan Wilson is in the game. He loses the handle. Duel fights for it. Volk fights for it. Those guys are tied up. And a nod of the head from both of them. Respect-wise. Going to go over to the Seawolves. Evan Villain gets a towel and mops up the perspiration situation. Comes Nash as well. On a sub. In for Volk. So the three-point crew was out there for the Seawolves. Howlett, Zamurda, Wilson, Clark, and Nash. 14 on the shot clock, 1:44 game clock, 14-point game. Seawolves need points in a hurry. Stop the Tommies from picking up the W here. Clark's going to look for some. Back outside, Howlett launches. And that's no rim. Shot clock violation over to Stu. Nash pointing, say it hit. It didn't look like it hit from here. Hansen back up the court to inbound. Guarded by Howlett. Have to think one of the other Tommies coming back here to help Littleton as well. Nope, one-on-one with Clark. Thought we might see a double team from Seawolves there. Instead, they let Clark have it. And Littleton fouled. Foul goes on Nash, only his second. Littleton to the line. That's a 15-point lead. That pretty much, I think, is going to seal it for the Tommies. That's 5 3-pointers. 6 scores now, with 5 of them being 3-pointers. Nash can't give them one. And Wilson against Wilson. Here comes the double team, Zamurda. Kick for Duel. Back for Littleton and Villain. Tommies take it down to 8 seconds. Get it to Marcus Wilson. Evan Villain beyond the arc. Front rim, rebound Clark. He's had a great game for the Seawolves. We're going to come up short here in this one. Fouled by Villain. Reminder, we start again at 11 tomorrow. Means I'm up early I'm up early anyway. Up early getting ready. I can't seem to come to the gym any less than an hour before the game time. Even when I know what's going on. I've been here for a couple days. Forward to seeing you here. If not, join us online. Travel on Hansen over to the Seawolves. Timeout taken. Do an inventory here. Just going to have to do a quick trip as well to a convenience store or something on the way in tomorrow. Reload with some lozenges and stuff to get me through tomorrow. So both Tommy teams are going to sit at 2-0 going into the Sunday. The men will get Mount A, the women UKC. They look to both be perfect in their Invitational Ken Gould tournament. And a good benchmark here. MSVU and UNBSJ along with STU. They all want to be at the top of the conference. Everybody wants to be at the top of the conference. And that Mount A team as well, a whole bunch of 6'5"-ish players on that squad. And I think once they get a little bit more time together and get it together, they can be even better than they've shown here this weekend. Clark a miss, rebound Tommies. Wilson to the front court. And football, that's going to be over to the Tommies. There's 16 on the shot clock as it sits right now. Villain back to Littleton. Howlett knocks it off of Villain. Off of Littleton. Shot clock now off, 17 seconds left. Zamurda. No fouls here for Stu. Zamurda puts one up, scores. 76-87. Wilson got it over. And the Tommies dribble it out. Stu goes to 2-0. 87-76. Over UNBSJ. They'll be back in action tomorrow against Mount A at 5 o'clock. That'll do it here for day 2 at the Ken Gould Invitational. I'm Bill Gibson. For everyone here at St. Thomas and the always amazing Alice in the producer's chair, who has to listen to me talk all day long, thanks for tuning in. Come on back tomorrow. Better than coming back online is getting yourself right here. See you then, one way or another.